Joining us now for his first interview since the report was released, former FBI Director Jim Comey. You've got an op-ed out. I want to dive into that. You were the target of a lot of those smears, but just your first thoughts about what the report concludes, that on the big question, on the big smear levied by Donald Trump about some sort of conspiracy or political bias, there was nothing.
Yeah, it was all made up. 2 years of sitting silently at the FBI while you're lied about. And finally, the truth is out. It was lies. There was no treason. There was no conspiracy. There was no tapping of Trump's wires. There was no putting informants in the campaign. It was all nonsense. And the FBI finally has its day with the American people, and I hope they pay attention to it.
But has the damage been done? I mean, has enough been said about the FBI, at least to the people who support Donald Trump, that today's nonpartisan, years-long investigation won't matter to the people that may have believed those attacks?
Yeah, a lot of the damage can't be undone because good people believe something that a president of the United States says, or an attorney general, or a news personality says. And so they've bought that, and it's going to be hard to walk that back. My goal is to have as many of the American people as possible learn from this and learn that the FBI is the way you'd want it to be. It's not on anybody's side.
And you tried to get that message out to the Fox News viewer. Tell us what happened.
Yeah, I offered to go on Fox and Friends, which I gather is a very important program for supporters of the president, and they agreed last night to book me at 8 o'clock tomorrow. I figured I can't change the minds of Fox viewers about President Trump, but I can change their minds, I hope, about the FBI by giving them actual facts. Then after the report came out, they canceled my appearance. They must have read the report.
What did they say? Just, we're full?
Maybe we can do it again after the Durham investigation was.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.